Hello and welcome to Storm Talk Arenas. The battlefield we will be looking at today is Garden of Terror. Let's go ahead and get in. Of course, we're going to be playing Sylvanas. She has an unbridled ability to just take care of the environment. It's a little funny because Sylvanas is actually pretty weak in games because she is extremely weak at taking out heroes. However, her ability to take out the environment is almost unmatched. There is going to be a little bit of difficulty in this one. I might have to pause the video during the night and just work on the terrors over and over again. They will be unstunnable by Sylvanas, and they're just kind of... Am I an idiot? Have I not been taking that the whole time? No, I've been taking Lost Soul. Wow. I'm an idiot. I'm just gonna sit there and say I'm an idiot. Well, I guess Lost Soul's not a horrible thing to have. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the top. As you can see, the background for this level is darkness. There's a little bit of a forest around the level with some castles and keeps and stuff. You even got some nice little birdies in there. Although, like, that guy's breathing, so wow, I actually never paid attention to that. Like, he's just standing there, but he's breathing. Like, you have these garden workers who are actually doing something, and you can't take the gate in. But that guy's breathing, even though he's just standing there. And then you have this gnome. Doesn't do anything. Okay, so for the most part, top lane is very standard. There is nothing above top lane. So you end up with this... you end up with this double bush system.
Give the order.
However, you can see that this is the dragon altar.
Night will fall in just
I'm not sure if this is supposed to, like, a separate dragon altar or supposed to come before or after. But you can even see the altar of the sun and the altar of the moon markers have been destroyed. The dragon's missing a wing. So, yeah. All in all, it's kind of neat. So, let's go ahead and, for the most part, this lane is standard. There is a hole between lanes, or right under the lane with a wall between it, which can be useful for a support or a healer, standard jungle entrance, or jungle cubbyhole. So, moving on, we'll go ahead and start working on the between top and bottom jungle. Thank you. Just waiting for the knights. So, as you can see, this map is actually a reverse mirror. So, actually, I'd make it a normal mirror, wouldn't it? But, no, that's a reverse mirror. So, what's up here, so you have the siege camp over here, the knights here, and then a siege camp under them, is the reverse on the other side. So you have a siege camp here, a knight, and a siege camp here. This jungle layout is used by League of Legends as well, so it is probably the most familiar for most people. Each side has an entrance. The knight's side, or the knight's camp side, has a open entrance to both forts right after the first gate and into the fort directly. The siege camp side has an open entrance into the siege camp, a bushed entrance into the siege camp, and behind the open entrance into the siege camp is a bushed entrance into middle lane. Just as you can see, there are some cubby holes here, and this same cubby hole is seen over here. Let's see, which cubby hole is this one? This same cubby hole is right here. This cubby hole here is seen here, and this cubby hole up here is seen here. Pretty straightforward and simple. There is a hook. You will see a lot of Murkies try to hide in this hook.
Done.
As you can see, this hook is extremely hidden, although it doesn't look like it would be. So anyway, let's go ahead and start working on the primary mechanic of this level.
My will is my own.
So, as you see, as I defeat these vegetables, I am gaining flower seeds.
My will is my own. Choose a talent.
As you saw, I've defeated 6 of them. I've picked up 30. That's roughly 5 seeds apiece. This guy is too big for me to stun, so he'll be a slight bit of a problem. However, he doesn't gain his health back, so coming in as Sylvanas and hitting him with my now super against minions arrows could be pretty useful.
The moment is upon us.
So, as you can see, just come by, hit him a couple of times,
Done.
pick up some of the seeds he's dropped. And that's probably how I'll be dealing with him for the most part throughout this map. Most simply due to the fact that I can't actually fight him by myself.
I'm listening.
It is a lot easier when you're alone, due to the fact that, as you can see, there aren't any enemies trying to attack me. The major problem with this guy is, plain and simple, that the enemies are trying to attack you.
My will is my own.
He does, however, as you might have noticed, he does drop health globes every bit of damage.
I'm here.
And he does drop a ton of seeds. Okay, before we take on the rest of them, we will work on to the middle lane.
Do not test my patience.
6 minutes in, and I've already only done 1 lane. That's bad. So, as you can see, mid lane is a pretty simple mid lane.
The moment is
Plain and simple, the average of average that you expect in just about everything else. Couple of bushes, the bushes are staggered, but equal. You have a couple of jungle entrances. Both of the jungle entrances do have a cubbyhole behind them, which I've already shown. And there's also a bush, so you can't actually see the other side of the jungle. It does make it extremely tricky to work past. If you have an enemy who's ganking you a lot, because you actually do have to check the bush, and you have to check the cubbyhole. Luckily enough, the lane between, or the jungle between mid and bot is the same as the jungle between top and mid. And as we go into bot lane, you'll notice that bot lane is virtually identical to top lane. Okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead and take out a couple of these things real quick.
Of course. Finally, you have enough seeds.
Now, it takes roughly 15 seconds after you've picked up the 100th seed in order for the terror to grow. And, as you can see, after it's done growing, it takes about a minute for it to rot.
Bring my terror to life.
So this means that you can kind of sit around and pick up the seeds,
Do not test my patience.
or pick up additional seeds, or team fight or something while you're also...
The terror cannot wait long. Control it.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and go now. As you can see, these seeds are going to sit here. And you can see it's all flashing now that it's getting close to dying. So I'll just go ahead and pick this up real quick.
Rise, my terror! Sap the life from your
So,
enemies!
the terror, pretty nice, pretty basic for the most part. You have the Queen's Curse. After a short delay, it will turn enemy heroes in the area into a plant zombie. I can't demonstrate this for you because, well, there aren't any enemy heroes. However, if you've ever played this map, you've seen them. Like, I can almost guarantee it. Enemy heroes don't have spells, they can't attack, and they move very slowly. The W ability is Overgrowth. Spawn an Overgrowth that disables structures and deals massive damage to nearby structures, minions, and mercenaries. It can be targeted and killed by the enemy, so do be careful about it. It is vulnerable. However, do note it can also target mercenaries. Most people seem to forget this. So if there is like a siege camp coming towards you, if you just walk down that lane, drop your Overgrowth, by the time you would be past that, like by the time it's time for you to drop your next Overgrowth, your Overgrowth will spawn. The cooldown is really short for what it does, 15 seconds, and it lasts for 15 seconds, I believe, or it lasts for like 14 seconds, I think. But for what it does, its cooldown is extremely short, and you can just devastate enemy siege or enemy minions, enemy mercenaries. You can demolish buildings with it. It is extremely powerful.
My child has
As you can very well see.
Choose a talent.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take a siege camp real quick.
Do not test my patience.
Just knock him out real quick. As you can see, this is the general siege camp.
My will is my own.
One of them has a shield, one of them has a wooden axe, but they mostly just throw rocks at people.
Do
As you can
not
see, all
test
of
my
these seedlings have
patience.
remained.
Done.
Actually, now that I'm a higher level, I should be able to beat this thing by myself without having to worry too much.
It's over for now, but don't get too comfortable. The infested will return
So,
again.
every night, after you've defeated the last plant, day happens.
Test my patience.
Which is, for the most part, just aesthetic. It does look like there's a slight, like, maybe a 10% drop in line of sight, but it is very minor if it even does exist.
Done.
Let's see if we can work our way up to level 13 real quick, same as before.
May The moment is upon us.
I haven't talked too much about the aesthetics of this level, so I'll go ahead and do that real quick while I kind of wait on level 13 to happen. So if we look at this, actually we'll check out my side. Well, we can't check out my side, that's right. So if we look at this, as you can see, it has a dragon nexus, which really looks a lot like a Deathwing. Like, you can tell by the prominent jaw, the prominent, like, breastplate and stuff that obviously looks like it was, supplemented with metallic. Yeah. Looks really nice, though. I mean, like, seriously, it is beautiful. The keeps and stuff have dragons on them. Which, again, the dragons have these metal masks on them, which kind of leads me a little more towards, like, again, towards the Deathwing idea.
Victory draws near.
I already showed you the whole vines destroying the dragon altar, and the vines wrapped around the footmen and stuff. For the most part, this entire level is supposed to look like a city that's just been overgrown by magical vines. And it does a pretty good job at that.
Do not test
Night falls, heroes. How I love to see my
Go ahead and
garden
work
in the
towards
moon's
these
glow.
bruiser camps.
It's time to heal scars. Forward.
And since it's cursed, we're almost there, so I'm just going to go ahead and take it from... That is not the direction I was expecting that arrow to go. Actually, help me, I only need 5.
Yes, that is enough. Soon the garden terror will be yours!
I'm listening.
It is time to harvest.
Well, that hurt.
Bring my
I would have thought I'd have enough
terror
health to be
to
able, or have to be strong enough to be able to take them by now. Guess not.
Yes, their keep crumbles.
The moment is upon us.
Actually, that's one interesting thing about these. They do get stronger as the game goes
cannot
on,
wait
so...
long. Control its power.
I mean, it would kind of be a little bit crappy if, like, yeah,
Terror,
you can
suck
beat these
the
at level
life
1 if you
from
team
your
up. No, like, by level 10,
enemies.
you could just one-shot them. So things do strengthen themselves over time. So as you can see, that does a ton of damage. And just plain and simple, like, yeah, I'll meet another minion camp by then. But I'm to the gate now, and it's up. Do try to spread out the level doing this. It is faster if you just keep hitting the same target, but if you drop your overgrowth and you get your tower down to where overgrowths are going to kill it on your own, there's really no reason to keep punching it. It's just a waste of DPS that can be put to a better source.
Pulverized. Choose a talent.
At the same time, although it will stun most buildings, it does not stun the Nexus for obvious reasons. It does, however, do damage to the Nexus, so it is still nice to use against the Nexus. However, if you use it by itself against the Nexus, it will soak up Nexus Fire, and since it hurts itself to damage buildings, this could be problematic. I would mostly suggest placing it near with either on top of a minion spawn or near the minion spawn, try to get more than one group of minion spawns in it at the same time, just for convenience sake. And like that way you'll get the maximum damage, and you're gaining tons of XP while you're killing the Nexus. So of course, Dragon explodes.
Victory!
You might be seeing a theme with the way the Nexus ends. But anyway, I hope this might have cleared up some problems or misconfusions. Some problems, confusions, or misconceptions with the Garden of Terror. And have fun.